world with superheroes, one young artist has taken the responsibility of creating the ultimate Spidersona for his brother. Get ready to witness the birth of a brand new hero. From depths of imagination to the canvas of reality, prepare to be amazed as we embark on an artistic journey like no other. Allah is big.
Okay, that sucks.
I hope the intro of this video made things clear for everybody, but for those who don't understand it yet, let me clear it for you. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be drawing my brother's Spidersona. So as you can see on the screen right now, here are some concept sketches that he did. And while he was doing so, he was telling me about the lore of this character, which we will get later in the video. And I'll get him probably to explain the lore of his character himself. So yeah, but that's gonna be a bit later in the video. Before that, I'll walk you guys through my process of designing a character, right? I thought it would be a good video. So the first thing I did was to bring in the sketches that we initially had and start adding things onto those. Now this part is where you develop your concept, but since me and my brother already had a very good idea of what we wanted, so this step didn't take as long. But there were things that I still wanted to add to its design. While my brother was telling me the lore, he mentioned him as a stale person, someone who's like very boring and someone who cannot be bothered, like, you know. So I wanted to showcase those things into his design. But first I went with a very generic Spider-Man full face mask, right? I showed that to my brother and he was like, man, we're golden for that. But I still wanted to add a bit more to it. So then I ended up designing, you can say, a very fast on and off mask where basically he can just put it on and put it off, since he is like a very unbothered sort of a person. And I showed that to my brother and basically he said we can just incorporate that into the beginning of the story when he becomes Spider-Man. And later on then he can just transition into wearing a full mask, right? So that was nice. Okay, now comes my favorite part, the colors. As mentioned earlier, he's a very boring, stale, bored, unbothered sort of a person. So we're gonna like reflect all of those things into the color palette as well. So I ended up going with very neutral and dull colors. And also I added a bit of red so it's not too boring, but the red was also on the desaturated side to make all of the colors more cohesive, and basically all of the colors should work together. Okay, now since we have the design and the color palette ready, it's time to design a whole piece, right? So I went ahead and did some thumbnail sketches just to have an idea of the composition and stuff. I wanted this artwork to tell a story. And as you can see here, the first thumbnail sketch I did, I was sold on that, right? But I didn't want to give it to myself. I was like, you know what, Moaaz, let's do another one just for the sake of it. But I ended up like, you know, going with the first one because I liked it that much. Now I'm gonna hand things over to my brother and he'll explain the lore of his character. So you guys enjoy the lore while watching this process video. I don't know what to say. Take it over, Kai.
Okay, so the name of this guy is Bilal. His spider powers are cosmic based, unlike most of the Spider-Man whose powers are radiation based. His unique ability is spider vision that lets him have like a 360 field of vision. He has an organic web shooter like the original Spider-Man Tobey Maguire one. Yeah, he got like that organic web shooter, but only in his right hand. He also doesn't have a spider sense because he got a spider vision that lets him see through everything. He can even see through the miles, like, you know, the hidden thing he got. Yeah, his spider vision can see through that too. And he can do way more, like, you know, a lot of shit with that spider vision, but I'm only just giving you an example here. He also finds a symbiote called Blood down the line that doesn't bond with him, so he just, you know, straight up lobotomizes it so he can use it however he wants to. The symbiote is alive, but, you know, it's brain dead, so he just puts that thing on himself. That's how he does it. A bit of lore about him: he's a 21-year-old ambitionless guy who likes to keep it on the low, wants to live, you know, the rest of his life out of the spotlight, even so much so that when he comes across a meteor site that is filled with cosmic energy shards that hit the earth, and instead of investigating, he just looks the other way because he doesn't want to involve himself with things that are out of his league. But on his way home, a spider attached itself to him that had absorbed some of that cosmic power from the meteor shards, and you know how it goes. I don't need to explain everything to you now, do I? After realizing what kind of power he has, he still tries to play it cool, but now he grows restless because he does not have his excuse of being powerless anymore, you know. So while having breakfast, he asks his big brother what will he do if he had the power to change things. And his brother replies, well, I will help people, of course, because now I have the power. An answer expected of him, to be honest. But after hearing this answer of his, he thinks to himself, you know what, maybe it would have been better that his brother inherited these powers and not him. After finishing his breakfast, he heads out. Sometime later at afternoon, he sees breaking news that a group of mercs stole some high-grade weapons, and while trying to shake the cops from their trail, they blew up a fucking building. Till now, Bilal couldn't give two shits about this news until he hears that all of this took place where his house is. He rushes back to make sure that his brother is okay, and upon arriving, he finds out that his house is intact. It was the house next door that was blown to bits. He takes a sigh of relief, but then he realizes that his brother is nowhere to be found. It's then when it hits him where he is. He rushes to the house that is now reduced to rubble, trying to find where he might be buried, and at that time his spider vision just suddenly activates and he's able to pinpoint his brother's location. And after removing the rubble that his brother was buried in, he sees that his ribs and back are broken because he was trying to protect the child. Now it is apparent that he is not gonna make it, so Bilal asks him a question. You said if you had power you would help people, but you didn't, so why did you? To which he replies, oh, you misunderstand. I always had the power to help others, just didn't have the powers to help myself. And then he just dies, and that's his canon event. After the canon event, most Spider-Men out there will vow to help the people in trouble, so no one has to suffer like them, be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but you see, he doesn't go the conventional route. The last words of his brother, I just didn't have enough power to help myself, stuck to him. He understands with these great powers, it's his great responsibility to take care of himself. If he isn't alive, then what's the point? That's why he only deals with stuff that will affect his normal life, because he doesn't see himself as a hero, but more as a person who has the powers of a hero. That's why he doesn't really care about petty theft and robberies, because he believes if he has to be there for every little thing, people will become too dependent on him. Also, the events that unfolded in front of him on that fateful day, he realized there is no shortage of suffering, you know? One man can only do so much to ease the suffering. One must go to the root of suffering. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, and that is why the supervillains in his world don't really last long.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this video comes to an end. In the end, I made two versions of this, so let me know down in the comments below which one is your favorite. I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. That helps a lot. And yeah, until next time, take care, stay awesome, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in a other video, I guess. Take care.